Everybody knows John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer. But what about the other guys? The lesser known, that are just as evil. Come along and explore them and learn some hard lessons with me, Brett, and my co-host and beautiful wife, Deanna. Each week, we will be exploring the dark minds of these people, also paranormal, conspiracy theory, and some cryptids. We hope you have as much fun with this as we do.
Guess who, classmates? It's Deanna.
Hey guys, this is Brett, and welcome back to episode 39 of Hard Lessons True Crime Podcast.
Sweet.
39 whole weeks.
39 whole weeks. You know, I'm like proud of us. We didn't just give up.
Stuck to it.
Stuck it out. It's kind of fun getting to learn about all this stuff. I hope there's no ever pop quiz because I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I asked her the other day, we were flipping through the TV and a documentary about David Parker Ray came on. And I asked her, I was like, you remember him? And she said, nope. I said, the toy box killer? And she goes, well, if you'd have said that, I would have remembered him.
Maybe not his name, but I would have known exactly what was going on.
Right.
So, you know.
That
was
one of the first big cases that we covered on the podcast.
And more, I still like that lady that survived. Like,
kudos to her.
Yeah, she goes around and talks to the ladies.
She does. She volunteers her time at battered shelters and.
I mean, she didn't let that man destroy her. She let it make her stronger and fight.
Absolutely.
So, very proud of her.
I am too. All right, are you ready for the more you know?
Of course I am. Am I going to need to know this someday?
You're going to want to know this someday. It's about one of your favorite actors.
Ooh.
Actor Jeremy Renner.
Ooh.
Before making it big in Hollywood, he was a makeup artist at a department store. One of his clients that would request him was Miss Drew Barrymore.
Like specifically request him? He is easy on the eyes. That's why I'd be requesting him.
Right.
You know.
So, yeah.
Anyway. So I wonder what kind of makeup he did.
Women's?
Like brand.
Oh, I got you.
Did Drew Barrymore like a specific type of, like, did she like the darks or the lights? Or,
right.
You know, like I know makeup, you know. But anyway, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. He started off when he was in college. He started out with a computer science degree.
He was going to be a computer nerd.
He was going to be a computer nerd, and he took a drama class as an elective. And as he said in an interview, the acting bug bit. I'm already living here in California, so why not give it a shot?
Well, thank goodness we
Right.
wouldn't have Hawkeye.
I'm saying, or that amazing movie Riverwind.
No, Wind River.
Wind River.
That sheriff dude or whatever he is in that movie.
Yeah.
Yes, we must watch this again.
I believe it was on Netflix. Classmates, if you hadn't seen that movie, I would highly recommend it. Wind River.
Now, of course, there's always, I can't say always, but 90% of the time there's inappropriate language and or
stuff
happening.
Yeah.
So always be aware of that. But
just watch it for the movie.
Yes, and it has a very impactful message about women going missing.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I mean, it's sad, and yet it is one of those good ones.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready to get started?
I am. All right, class is in session.
Hey, you remembered this week.
I did.
You
Be
go, girl.
sure that you are paying attention and you are not writing notes to your friends, because I will read them out loud to the class.
Ooh. Yes, miss.
And if you're not paying attention, I will come stand by you and we will be best friends.
Personal.
Yes.
All right. Well, this week's lesson is on a classic true crime story. And it's of course, no true crime story is all daisies and roses, rainbows and sunshine.
No, lollipops.
But this one's going to be pretty dark.
A dark one.
Yeah.
It's going to make me sad then.
And
probably angry.
This week we are talking about the murder of Harry and Harriette Moore.
Two people.
Husband and wife.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think the son did it.
Well, they had two daughters.
Okay. The daughter's boyfriend.
Harry Tyson Moore.
Harry Moore.
Was born November 18th, 1905. He passed away December 25th, 1951.
Oh, that's sad.
Not only was it Christmas Day, but you'll find out what other day of importance it was for Harry and Harriette in a little bit.
Was it their anniversary?
Harriette Vida Sims
had a baby on that day.
Was born June 19th, 1902.
That was the year my grandpa was born.
That's cool. And she passed away on January 3rd, 1952. So a little over a week after Harry died.
Yeah.
In an effort to give him a better life in his preteen years, Harry's parents sent him from his hometown of Houston, Florida, to live with three of his aunts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Like, did he roam from one aunt's house to another?
No, the three aunts lived
they
together.
They lived together.
And he lived with them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Poor preteen male
Harry
to live with three grown women to learn education.
Well, two of the three aunts were teachers.
Again, poor Harry.
But Harry loved learning, and this helped foster that love even more.
Well, there you go. But still, awkwardness.
The years spent with his aunts proved pivotal to his racial and political consciousness.
Racial and political consciousness. Did he run for office or something?
Harry would teach fourth grade after graduating high school.
Well, you could just teach right when you graduated high school? That was in Alabama, though. Okay.
Florida.
Oh, Florida? He went back to Florida?
Yeah, Jacksonville, Florida.
I didn't hear Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So now you gotta twitch your nose and stand on one finger.
It was at an all-black elementary school that he taught at.
That's awesome. I mean, that's how much education meant to him.
Exactly. He's given back.
Yep.
This is also where he would meet Harriette.
Ooh.
She was a former teacher who was at this time selling life insurance. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she wasn't that much older than him,
3 years.
3 years.
Yes, ma'am. Once the couple married, they finished their college degrees together at Bethune-Cookman College, which today is part of the HBCU, Historically Black College and University.
Nice.
And they would get married on December 25th, 1926.
See? Just breaks my heart. They were celebrating Jesus' birthday and their anniversary.
And if you notice and do the math real quick in your head, he died on 1951. They married in 1926. It was their 25th wedding anniversary, so it was a milestone.
Holy cowbells.
Yeah. They would eventually both return to education. Harriette
After college?
Yes.
They were okay.
Harriette teaching the 4th grade. Harry not only teaching the 9th grade, the school went grades 1 through 9, but he was also the principal of the school. So he taught, plus he managed the other teachers.
Oh my gosh, talk about skills.
I'm saying he had the skills to pay the bills.
I must have, because I can't even manage my house.
In 1928, Harriette gives birth to the couple's first daughter, and they move into their family home with an acre of land that was a gift from Harriette's parents.
Oh, nice.
In 1930, the couple's second daughter was born. So, family's growing, mom and dad providing them with the house.
Oh my gosh, I can just hear the patience in those parents.
Yeah.
And that love.
And this is a photo of Harry and Harriette. As soon as it pulls up.
Looks blank to me. We scroll down to a blank picture.
It's coming.
Okay.
In 1934, Harry would also open the local chapter of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Through this chapter, Harry worked towards achieving equal pay for equal work for teachers of any race, fought to get lynchings prosecuted, and attempted to get black voters registered in the area.
That's a lot.
Not only is he...
Oh my gosh. Is this racially background? Is this why they got killed? Because he was promoting all that?
Not only is he a teacher and a principal, but he's working tirelessly for the NAACP.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Now, of course, the predominantly white county wasn't a fan of Harry's.
Well, of course not.
In 1946, both Harry and Harriette were fired from their teaching jobs by state authorities. The look on Teach's face right now.
I want to go like firebomb their own.
Harry then started working full-time for the NAACP when he became the first executive secretary in the entire state of Florida for the organization. So Harry is still out there killing it.
Yes, making it known.
He is. He's doing his thing. Unfortunately, we must come to December 25th, 1951. The couple had finished their Christmas and anniversary celebrations.
Yeah. How old were their daughters? Probably grown.
Well, let's see.
I'm not going to do the math right this second.
One was born in 1928, so she was 23. The other was born in 1930, so she was 21, 23 and 21.
Still babies.
Basically.
Yeah.
Still could have their parents around.
No doubt.
After they retired to their bedroom for the evening, just a few moments later, a bomb exploded. Only one daughter was home, but she was not hurt.
Was it thrown in their house? Like,
The explosive device,
yes.
which was placed under the floor directly under the Moore's bedroom, was concocted of dynamite.
So somebody knew their house. Somebody had been staking it out, knew the house, knew where their bedroom was, because that was very specific. So, after all the celebrations and love,
At the time of their death, Harry had worked so hard at pushing the black voter registration.
mm-hmm.
Florida had the highest number of registered black voters of any southern state. So, still just shows how his importance and everything that he did.
Well, he faithfully believed in the system and was going to get them registered.
Absolutely.
And they needed to be registered.
Yes, ma'am.
I would have been fighting with him.
Alongside him.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know that's what you meant. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, like, my gosh, that just upsets me.
Harry and Harriette were rushed to the nearest hospitals
Well, let me guess.
that would treat African Americans.
Okay. I was about to say, let me guess. This hospital doesn't treat those of different color.
It was
burnt. Never mind, that was rude of me.
It was in Sanford, Florida, and it was over 30 miles away.
So they had to rush them 30 miles after being
blown up or in an explosion.
Burning skin pieces.
En route, Harry passed away.
Yeah, how could he have not?
Harriette, who was a strong lady in her own right, stated that she was going to live long enough to attend her husband's funeral. And she did, passing away 9 days after the explosion.
But that doesn't mean that she get to go to the funeral. Okay, I was like, just because it doesn't mean she got out of the hospital.
Right.
Okay.
And here's a photo of Harry and Harriette's house after the explosion.
Yeah.
A number of motives have been laid out for the murder of Harry and Harriette, but they all lead back to the same theme: retribution against Harry for his work in civil rights.
Exactly.
I
mean, that's the big target right there. I mean, I don't know what else could be the reason for them to be killed.
Yeah, that's right. Over the years, there have been 5 separate criminal investigations initiated by various law enforcement agencies. The first was actually the day after the explosion on December 26, 1951, headed up by the FBI.
Oh, the FBI. I was like, let me guess. The local Klan. Or, I'm sorry, cops.
Tomato.
The Klan cops.
Most recent investigation was opened up in 2008 by the FBI's Cold Case Initiative.
Oh, I didn't even know they had that.
But
I'd like to see those files.
It closed in 2011.
The case did. Where's Kelly Siegler?
Exactly.
Let's get this going, man.
And Teach and I was talking before we started recording, and I told her, I was like, it's solved but unsolved, if that makes sense, and we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Okay.
These 5 investigations did reveal evidence that 4 high-ranking Ku Klux Klan members were involved.
You mean the cop clan?
Huh.
The ones that think they have all the rights in the world to just do whatever they want to other people.
The first is Earl Brooklyn.
Was he the head dude?
He was exceedingly violent and was known to be a renegade. He was actually expelled from the Klan for engaging in unsanctioned acts of violence for an incident that happened in Georgia.
Let me guess, a bombing?
It didn't say. It was reported that Brooklyn was in possession of the floor plans of the Moore's home.
Okay.
It was reported. It wasn't found. It was reported.
Well, of course, you can't find any evidence because he just up and moved away. Like, I don't know where he went. He didn't leave no forwarding address.
No, he didn't, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Oh my gosh. I just want to take a baseball bat to him. And by the way, I have anger issues.
I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that or not.
I don't know either, but I won't talk about that.
Okay, so I was looking for a photo
of this man?
Of Earl Brooklyn, but there isn't one.
Thank goodness.
So we will move on to the next person.
Okay.
Tillman H. Curly Belvin.
Oh my gosh.
I'm assuming he was bald.
Or he had really thick curly hair. Still a redneck backward person.
He was the best friend of Mr. Brooklyn and was also just as violent. The third individual is Edward Spivey, and he wasn't on any of the agency's radar until 1978 when he was on his deathbed and made a confession.
I've heard of this last name before.
Spivey?
Yes.
Used to be a professional wrestler named Dan Spivey.
Dude, I care about wrestling.
Right. In his deathbed confession, he implicated another member of the Ku Klux Klan from back in the day, and that's the fourth individual, Joseph Cox. So there's not a lot known about Joseph Cox. He was interviewed by the FBI on March 29th, 1952, so just a few months after the bombing. However,
of course,
on March 30th, 1952, Joseph Cox committed suicide the very next day after being interviewed by the FBI.
Of course.
Now, Mr. Brooklyn and his friend, Mr. Belvin, they died during the FBI's initial investigation. August of 1952, Curly Belvin passed away. And your buddy, Mr. Brooklyn, he died on Christmas Day, 1952, 1 year exactly after the bombing. Autopsy results on both men, the coroner ruled both deaths as natural causes. Interestingly enough, the coroner's reports cannot be found anywhere.
Of course
So
not.
did maybe the Klansmen, because Brooklyn was kicked out of the Klan by this time, did maybe the Klan do something to him, thinking that he was going to tell on the other members? Did they do something to Belvin? Who knows?
Like, I had no love lost there.
Right.
I'm like, and I'm a firm believer you're going to get what is coming to you. And all I have to say is,
May God have mercy on your soul.
That's the only thing you can say. There isn't no words, there's no actions, there's nothing you could have ever done to them people to have punished them enough for them to get it until the moment they died, and then they had it all.
Absolutely.
So,
now, of course, the murders sparked nationwide protests, rallies, and memorials. President Harry S. Truman, who was the 33rd president of the United States, and Florida Governor Fuller Warren, who was the 30th governor of Florida, were flooded with telegrams and letters in protest to the murders. On January 5th, 1952, Jackie Robinson held a memorial service with over 3,000 people in attendance in New York City.
whoa.
Jackie Robinson was the first African American to participate in Major League Baseball when, on April 15th, 1947, he played first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yes.
The NAACP also held a memorial service at Madison Square Garden in New York City that was attended by over 15,000 people in March of 1952. Yes, ma'am.
He didn't die
Who?
in New Jersey.
No.
Why didn't they go to New Jersey? Or why didn't they go down to Florida?
There was nothing in the articles that said why they held them up here. Maybe they didn't have big enough arenas.
It's called open space.
Maybe they were afraid of the Klan attacking. I don't know.
Isn't it more honoring or supportive to go where they actually lived and died? To me, that's a chicken right there. That is disrespect, in my opinion.
One of the speakers at the memorial in Madison Square Garden was a man by the name of Langston Hughes. He was an American poet, a social activist, a novelist, a playwright, and a columnist.
He was a writer.
He was. And this is part of the poem that he wrote in memory of Harry Moore. And this he says, our Harry Moore, as from the grave he cries, no bomb can kill the dreams I hold, for freedom never dies.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yep. Again, I wasn't this spoken over his grave. Why didn't they go down there?
Maybe they did, but they also held these up there in New York.
It's true, but you didn't look that stuff up.
I read 4 articles about it, and none of them ever said anything about it. So,
Anyway, tells me they did not.
Yeah, the land where Harry and Harriet's house sat is now a Florida heritage landmark.
Okay, kind of like the historical markers like we have. Okay, what's it say?
There is also in the city of Jacksonville a park named after them. There is a justice center named after them, one of the police stations.
What?
A highway is named after them in Florida. as is a post office. And that is the murder of
So
Harry
what did the plaques say?
and Harriette Moore.
You don't know, do you?
No. My bibliography for this week. Small tidbit of information from wikipedia.org. Murders of Harry and Harriette Moore. NAACP.org. Harry and Harriette Moore. And then 2 different articles on PBS.org. The first one is Harriette Moore, an unresolved frontline. And the other one is Freedom Never Dies, the story of Harry T. Moore. And that is the murder of Harry and Harriette Moore. And I just want to end this episode this week, classmates, by saying, Teach and I love y'all. It does not matter what color your skin is. It does not matter what your political beliefs are. It does not matter who you love. We love y'all. Our home is a safe space, and we don't hold grudges. We don't hold anything against anybody. You're welcome to be you. Right, Teach?
Yes, absolutely.
All right,
You
Teach.
could be purple. I probably want to know why you were purple, but I could care less.
Maybe they ate a lot of grapes.
Maybe so. Dyed their skin, maybe?
I know that if you eat enough oranges, or not oranges, carrots, you're
in like sweet potatoes or something like
something like that.
Yeah.
Your skin gets
I know
that fleshy tone.
Yeah, you start turning orange.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Ryan, when he was a baby, had an orange tint.
Did you? Producer Ryan?
Yes. So, then they stopped feeding him whatever was turning him that color because it was really awkward.
So do you need a cop story this week? Or was this... Are you good?
I don't know. Do I need a cop story?
Sometimes you say, tell me something funny that happened when you was a cop. When I tell a dark story like this.
Oh. No, I'm okay. I just have such a tender heart and always believe that there's good in the world.
Yes, ma'am.
Even when somebody does something terrible like this, there's always good. And sometimes it just takes me a little bit to actually process that in this evil event and something did great come out of it because people didn't stop fighting.
That's right.
It's just sad that those girls didn't have their parents and then those grandbabies and great-grands and so on and so forth. They just get to live that legacy and keep fighting, and it's just wrong.
And I know that, like, living here in Texas and them being in Florida, we probably would have never known the Moores, but I kind of feel cheated that didn't get a chance to meet this man.
I know.
He and Mrs. Moore seemed like they were amazing people and had amazing things to still give this world.
Another thing to think is they lived their purpose, and that was just an unfortunate event that happened, but I'll be okay.
All right.
Because, there's positive things happening. And
so what is my grade for this week, Peach?
Well, I'm a detailed person.
But if it's not in the story, I can't make it up.
No, but you could keep looking. But I'm going to give you an 8.
Yay.
Yeah. Just because that was a lot of information.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So.
All right. So what am I reporting on next week? An unsolved.
Unsolved.
Awesome. You know, we got a lot of great reactions to the last unsolved crime that we did. Miss Elsa from Panhandle, Texas, just right over here.
Wellington and Panhandle. I bet you my family knew her and knew that family. It's Wellington, and it wasn't much bigger than what it is now.
Sure.
Farmers know each other, so I'm like, I know my family
Absolutely.
knew her family.
Well, a buddy of mine that I met when I was a cop, he's still in law enforcement. Hey, bud, reached out to me, and I told him, I was like, man, if you know any other, because he's still in law enforcement, but he was in law enforcement probably 10 years when I got in. I was like, if you know any other unsolved cases for this area, let me know. And all. And so he reached out and told me about another one. So
really? How close is it to us?
She was born and raised in Shamrock.
Oh my gosh.
And was murdered in Amarillo.
Oh.
In the 1970s.
Like.
So that's what we'll be talking about next week. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm excited to learn about it, but not excited to know that she's passed away.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Life sucks.
It does. All right, classmates. Well, we will see you next week with an unsolved crime. Until then, love each other.
Yes. Don't judge people for anything.
See the purpose in each other.
It's called being kind.
That's right.
That gets overplayed, but it's really necessary in this world nowadays.
Absolutely. All right, classmates, y'all have a great week.
Class is dismissed.